Meghan McCain harshly humiliated Joe Behar on a live show. I was wondering that myself. Let's get to the bottom of all of this together.
Well, you know who kicked off his 2020 campaign at a rally in Florida yesterday, and the crowd was fired up for him to dust off some of his greatest hits. Take a look.
That is a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot. We went through the greatest witch hunt in political history. The only collusion was committed by the Democrats, the fake news media, and their operatives, and the people who funded the phony dossier, crooked Hillary Clinton, and the DNC. What did they come up with? No collusion. And we are building the wall. We're going to have over 400 miles of wall built by the end of next year.
You know, after a while, I look at what Trump said back then and realize how great he is in that regard. He knew and saw the problems that we could only guess at. The migration crisis, the financial meltdown. We've been dragged into wars that we're sponsoring at great expense. He knew it all. He knew he'd be hunted down and wanted to go to jail. So now I want to hear an important opinion from the super expert Whoopi.
Yep. So he's fired up the base. It worked for him in 2016. But don't you feel he's going to have to try a little bit harder this time?
But he's like a jukebox, you know, play D3, lock her up. D4, the press is the enemy. I mean, it's like a jukebox. You might as well just get a jukebox.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of crazy.
And why are the people in the audience saying, lie to me, keep it coming? What's wrong with them?
Yeah. Well, I just, what is Hillary supposed to be doing now?
She's being a grandma.
She's in the woods, like hiking. It's just so bizarre.
She's in the woods.
Actually, she was at the MGM giving a talk, and I know because when I was there, they were talking about it there.
Yeah, she's in Vegas.
Yeah. She's doing her tour, right? I believe with Bill.
So why are you gonna lock up? I mean, she hadn't been around. She hadn't said anything. I mean, it's kind of.
It was just so weird. I thought it was a rerun of a campaign. Like you watched it, I'm like, I saw this already.
Hold on. Why does he have to make up new problems and give some made-up speeches? Trump knew about the problems in the country and told everyone openly that he would solve them. People loved him for it. Of course, he's not an old Joe who can hang noodles on people's ears and give empty hope to people. He's not someone who will drag us into wars and put us in danger.
Same thing.
Yeah, I watched it last night because it was on before the Housewives. So, for real, it came on right before, and I was like, I might as well watch this first. And there are three things. First of all, the arena was completely packed, and I looked it up afterward, and I don't think so. And
yes,
I will say,
buses ready for
well, people were lining up 40 hours prior to the event, so he still has.
Yeah.
Well, some people, yes, but there were people lining up 40 hours.
There's always people who will do that.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Baby.
I don't know if there are people lining up 40 hours before a lot of Democratic candidates.
Not yet.
Like, okay, but it did happen. It's not fake news. There's still a huge base of his.
Yeah.
And I will say that it did seem like a rerun from times past. It was interesting to me. It was hard for me to watch Marco Rubio and Lindsey Graham in there.
Oh, that
and I
was
know
incredible.
Marco Rubio came out this morning saying it's not unusual for me to be supporting, as a senator, to be supporting the president as well. But he was sort of negging Lindsey Graham at the same time. And I even tweeted last night.
Who was doing
the president was.
Joe Behar is so trying to shove his needed opinion into Meghan McCain's speech. Why does she try to interrupt her every time? Let the person who sees what is really going on in the world speak, not the person who sits around all day with rose-colored glasses and an old blue suit.
Watch the rally, yes, please. And he was sort of saying like his poll numbers were so down and now he's here. And I was like, yes, this is what happens. You have to show up the rally and you have to kiss the ring, and you'll be great politically in the Republican Party. And it was just a weird thing for me to watch.
I bet.
As all of you can probably understand.
Lindsey has sold his soul.
Like the transformation's complete. That's what I thought last night. Is that your political transformation is complete into a Trumper.
Maybe they'll get voted out.
But beyond that, don't belittle the crowds. Don't belittle the enthusiasm.
Why-
Democrats still have a lot to come because it's a lot of people still enthusiastic. And I was trying to explain because one of my producers this morning was saying, why do people love him so much? And I was like, sometimes it's not just that they love Trump so much, it's that they hate the same things Trump hates.
Joe Behar won't even be able to say a word against this argument because she won't go against the whole nation. Trump is basically a pillar man who has a common problem with everyone, and he is trying his best to solve it. He is not running on the tracks to show everyone that he is not an old and quite capable man. He's not trying to make excuses to the press every day. Trump is just doing what he has to do, and people have grown to love him for it. Do you agree with me? Write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.